Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Mindbody Medicine for Chronic Pain podcast. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And I am so glad you are here with me today. If you do not know me, my name is Sean Hershey, and I am a therapist. I specialize in helping people like you, people healing from chronic pain and chronic symptoms using emotional and psychological modalities. Like I always say, most people don't even know that's possible. But of course, you know, because you're here and you're doing this, you know that it is possible. You know that that's the only way. For most chronic pain and chronic symptoms, it's the only way out. And so here we all are doing this. Okay, we're here for a little bonus episode today because I just want to. I was thinking about this, and I'm like, let's have a discussion about this. I want to acknowledge chronic pain, by definition, is so painful. That's so obvious, but it's worth just letting yourself sit in that reality. The problem that you are experiencing in your life right now is really painful. Okay. And I know so much of the work the work of moving past this is calm down, give yourself messages of safety, be chill, move forward and do things even if you have the pain and the symptoms because you're getting better and you're healing. Yes, all of that is awesome. That is the way out. And it's also so important to acknowledge like this hurts. Okay? You're listening to this podcast right now. You're probably feeling pain or some kind of symptom. Like, are you feeling it right now? And that's okay. The issue, I just want to be clear, like the issue you're dealing with is really, really hard. And it's really legitimately, on the nose definition, painful. What you're dealing with is the definition of painful. And you deserve empathy. So I want to have just a little talk today about the fact that you really, you deserve empathy. You deserve empathy. You deserve empathy at the stage where you don't yet know about mind-body healing. So this is the stage where you have, like for me, when I had really terrible IBS, and I didn't know that the problem was emotional and psychological. And so here I was like not eating this food, not eating that food, if you know my story, you know that I dealt with a lot of limitations. And if you're interested, you can go back to there's an episode my recovery from chronic IBS. You can listen to that one. You get all the details. But I know I've told this story on the podcast before, but I want to say this briefly again today because there's so much lack of empathy for people like us who have suffered from or are currently suffering from chronic pain and chronic symptoms. This was many years ago in the like bad IBS days. I was out at a restaurant with some friends, one of whom I wasn't like a close friend. This was more of like a like a peripheral friend. And we're sitting around the table, and a whole thing of bread comes out first. Like bread like that you dip in olive oil. And she but there's a table of maybe 4 or 5 of us, and she like passes it over to me, and I was like, "Oh no, thanks. I don't eat gluten." And her response to me, she looks dead in my eyes and goes, "Oh, so you're a glutard." Not only is that like hate speech, literally, and derogatory. I can't believe I'm even saying this, but I want to paint the picture of what this is really like because you know what it's really like. And I want to say you deserve empathy. You're not the only person who deals with bullshit. I've dealt with it too, and you can know that other people listening to this podcast are here with you, that they've dealt with it too. You're a glutard. You kidding me? Like, what do you even say to something like that? And this is someone who I had gone to like protest with. This is someone who was like an activist, someone who was very forward thinking, very very much like a leftist, kind of a radical. And this because I'm not eating gluten. Imagine if this person had just been like, "Oh, okay," and just pass the bread on to the next person. Or, say like, "Oh, okay, is this restaurant gonna work for you? Like, can you find something that you're gonna be able to eat?" And if I were to just be like, "Yeah, thank you," and she could just be like, "Okay, good." You know? "Glad we picked a good restaurant." Like, this is a moment where I deserved truly some empathy, not being called, um like, is it a j like, is that for real? Like, did calling me a glutard change anything? Did that help anything? What did that do for her, I wonder? Like, who does that? I wonder what your experiences are, like, I wonder what, like, and this was not, like, this one instance was not like, "Wow, this traumatized me forever and I'll never be the same," but this was a piece of a much larger pattern of people just being mean. Like, "Oh, Sean. Oh, well, Sean's not gonna have this. Oh my god, but just all the resistance I faced where, like, this was my way of managing my symptoms at that time, and I was in a lot I mean, a lot of pain, a lot of symptoms all the time, and this was the best that I knew, this was all I knew how to do. This was all that had been legitimately offered to me that I was ready to, like, accept and, take in. This was the best that I knew how to do. And this is how friends treated me, like, even peripheral friends. I'm like, "My god, you deserve empathy." Okay? When you're at that stage, that same stage of, you have not found mind body work yet to help you. When your doctors can't find anything wrong. The number of doctors who I could back in the day, um, gastroenterologists and the such, I could just feel that they were angry at me. Like, they were angry at me because I would return to, the follow-up appointment after they had given me whatever supplements or whatever recommendations they had given me. I would return to the next appointment and, I'd be like, "Well, maybe I feel a little different. I don't know. It certainly hasn't helped that much. The problem's not gone. Like, my stomach still feels like this and that, and, oh, I still had this issue with my stomach, and I'm still bloated all the time, and I'm still, like, gassy all the time, and, like, what can you help me?" And I could just feel their anger and frustration at me. When it was like, I was just speaking the truth about my symptoms, and what I was saying to them was like, "So far you have not helped me," and that would make them angry. And, as a therapist, I'm attuned to these dynamics so that, like, what is going on between people, especially in these sort of, like, professional helping relationships, like, that's, like, my job to be attuned to that. So I tune into that more than your average person would, obviously, and I could just feel the anger, and I know that kind of thing happens all the time. I know those kinds of interpersonal, patterns are getting worked out in doctors' offices across the world all the time, and so I know that's happened to you. Some version of that has happened to you, and I just wanna say you don't deserve people being angry at you because your symptoms aren't going away or because your symptoms aren't responding to the treatment your doctor wants them to respond to. You don't deserve that anger. You deserve empathy. When you're in this phase, you deserve empathy. When you're in all phases, you deserve empathy, but I'm just painting the whole picture, like, all of these phases, including this phase, you deserve empathy. Even when your doctor says, they can't find anything wrong and you are putting your absolute best foot forward. When they say to you like, "Okay, we can't find anything wrong, but, like, we could try this experimental intervention or, I could put you on this medication, see how that impacts impacts your symptoms." And, you bravely stay calm and stay cool and stay collected, and you're just like, "Okay, let's try that." And inside, you're scared and desperate, and this is your life. Like for the doctor, this is a 15, maybe if you're lucky, 30-minute appointment. For you, these symptoms are with you every day. This is your life. And you're going to go home and you're going to deeply research every single thing that that doctor or alternative health provider proposed to you. But in the moment, in that exam room, maybe it's a like, what maybe it's even like kind of like a nice naturopathic doctor kind of exam room where it's like more chill and low lighting and like maybe it's a shitty environment with like harsh fluorescent lighting. Maybe it's a nice environment. Either way, in the moment, you're staying cheerful and you're staying positive and you're just like, okay, sounds good. Thanks for your help, with a little smile on your face. And inside, you're desperate and you're hurting so bad and you don't have anyone who gets you and you don't have anyone who can help you. And you're fearing, this doctor probably can't help me. And yet you have that smile on your face and you just say, okay, thanks, rather than falling apart. Yeah, if you know what I'm talking about, you deserve empathy. You deserve empathy. So you deserve empathy when you're at that stage where you don't yet know about mind-body healing. And you obviously deserve empathy at the stage where you know about mind-body healing and the pain and symptoms are still there. Now you know. This is the good thing. You're onto a totally new phase. I wouldn't even say you're onto a new chapter. It's like you've closed one book and you're starting a new book. Like you're onto a totally different phase. Now you know. Welcome. Anyone who's listening to this is in this phase. Maybe you're at the very beginning of this phase because you're just kind of trying this one on. You're trying on mind body work. But if you have chronic pain and chronic symptoms, this is it. You've found the solution. Mind body work, emotional and psychological modalities, that is the way out of chronic pain and chronic symptoms. You found it. You found it. Oh, thank God you found it. But that does not change everything. It certainly does not change everything right away. This will change everything. This will change your symptoms. This will change your relationship with your symptoms. This will change your relationship with yourself. This will change your relationship with your emotions, and it will chill your symptoms out. It's going to chill your body out. This is how you get out of chronic pain. This is. But you're not there yet. Okay? That's fine. Mind body healing is a process, and you deserve empathy now. Now you know about this process. Good, 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 good. And you deserve empathy as you're going through this process. You wake up every morning, and the first thing you do is you think, my back, right? Yes. Even though the answer to that, like, like, yes, but no. Like, yes, of course you think that. No, that's not the quote unquote right thing to think. Eventually you will move on from that headspace. Eventually you will move on from like symptom checking, that headspace that is going to be good for you to move on from that headspace. Um, but listen, you understand, if your back yesterday was hurting all day, and maybe it was hurting during the night and you were struggling to sleep because your back was hurting. And then when you wake up in the morning and your first thought is my back. Yes, of course. What else are you supposed to think? Of course, that's what you're thinking. And you deserve empathy for that. You dream about going back to work, back to spending time with your family, back to spending time like caring for your family and being there for your family. But the first thought on your mind, like the main thing that holds you back, my CFS, my chronic fatigue. Yes, of course, that's the first thought that comes to you. Of course. Eventually you will move on from that headspace. Like you will engage in activities, even if you feel fatigue. Like that's going to be good for you. You will engage in that. You will teach your brain and your body that like you are safe. But you've had to give up so much. In some cases, people with chronic fatigue give up almost everything. Like you have had to give up everything because of your chronic fatigue. You know this. So when you hold yourself back from getting into working or getting back to taking care of your family, back to the stress and demands, that stuff is stressful. That stuff is demanding. Parts of you don't want to do that, and you're working all that out as you're doing TMS and mind body work. Like, you're working all that out. And if you don't want to go straight back into like, let me just do whatever despite the symptoms, first of all, that's literally not going to be physically possible for you because your body won't allow you to do that right away. Eventually you'll get there, but right away you're not going to be physically able to do that. Second, what like of course you're holding yourself back. Duh. What else are you supposed to do? Like, what else are you supposed to do? Your mind body system is fried. It is overwhelmed. You are overwhelmed. You're not ready to just jump in and like do whatever. Um, and you deserve empathy for that. You're doing this. You are moving forward. And if moving forward is slow, that is totally normal and totally okay. You're not there yet. Totally fine. And you deserve empathy for that. You're going in the right direction. You are going in the right direction. Okay, you think about going to a dinner party. Wouldn't it be great to just sit down and just be an easy guest? Eat the bread and the cheese and the pasta with the nightshade laden sauce. Wouldn't that be great if it was just easy? And it seems truly, you look around and you're like, this seems to be so easy for everyone but me. And you're like, I can't do it. I can't go to the dinner party. I can't do it. My IBS symptoms, I literally can't. Holding in the gas, trying to hold in the diarrhea, the bloating. Why isn't it like this for anyone else? Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Of course, that's how you feel. Of course, those are your fears. Again, you will move on from that. Eating new foods is going to be good for you. Of course, you know that. Expanding those horizons, that will be good for you. You know that. Eating something new also will cause probably symptoms at first, maybe very embarrassing symptoms for you. Okay. You know that when you think about going to the dinner party and you say no. Yeah. What else are you supposed to say? What else are you supposed to say? Of course, you say no sometimes. That's fine. You deserve empathy for that. Someday you'll say yes. Okay. Someday you will. If you're not there yet, that's fine. You deserve empathy. You wouldn't dare even really consider this one over the past few years, but you would love to go on a trip. You would love to go explore somewhere new, somewhere adventurous where you'd like eat the Jamaican jerk chicken spicy with rice or bread or whatever they serve you. You would just take it and enjoy it. You would eat the Indian curry without trying to like translate what are the ingredients? Is it dairy free? Does this contain wheat? You would just eat it. You'd be there for the food and you just enjoy it. You could eat the Mexican food, the cheese, the rice and beans, the corn, the chilies, the tomatoes. You would just be on a trip, just enjoying yourself, and you just enjoy the flavor of the food, which is such a fun part of travel. You wouldn't dare allow yourself to even think about it, but we're talking about it, so you're thinking about it now, and you'd love to just have the freedom to enjoy that. You'd love to be chill, fun, free, be with your friends and family on a vacation where you're not complaining and you're not suffering and you're not just trying to manage, but you're actually enjoying yourself. You would love that. But you're barely even allowing yourself to imagine traveling like that because the first thing is, but my gut, but my symptoms, but my flare ups. Yes. Yeah. Yes, yes, yes. Again, even though the answer at the end of the day is gonna be no, like, eventually, you will move on from this place. You will. You will move on from this fear. You will move on from these limiting beliefs. and you will move on from the symptoms in your body. Yes, eventually you will. But right now, yes. If foods trigger you, maybe you're listening to this podcast right now with your gut hurting right now. Maybe you're feeling this right now. Yeah. So what else are you supposed to think? Are you supposed to be like, let me just go on the trip? Let me just do it. Yeah. It's okay if you're not thinking that. You deserve empathy. You deserve empathy. You'd love to go back to the gym, right? But your feet, your knees, your joints, yes. If your feet, knees, and joints hurt so bad that you had to stop going to the gym, stop playing your sport, stop some hobby, if that's your experience, that's many people's experience, right? When you think about going back to the gym and you want to have that attitude of confidence, no fear, but you just have the attitude of no confidence and all fear, yeah, that's okay. That's where you're at right now, and that's okay. You deserve empathy. This is not for forever, but this is where you are right now, and that's okay. You're still on the healing path. It's okay. You wanna have sex, but you really, really fucking don't wanna have sex. You don't wanna have sex. Sex is a trigger, okay? You're feeling like, stop begging for sex. Stop making me feel guilty about not having sex. All of this is a fucking trigger. Yeah. If you wanna have sex, but the first thing you think is like, "No, I don't wanna have sex," that's okay. If sex triggers your symptoms, then yeah, right, like I'm saying, how are you supposed to feel? Excited? Supposed to feel excited about getting a symptom flare? Turned on? Like, right? Like, are you supposed to feel turned on by something that you know is gonna give you a symptom flare? You deserve empathy. It's okay. You deserve empathy. Again, you won't be here for forever. You won't. But if this is where you are right now, that's okay. You deserve empathy. You want to like your life. I know that. And honestly, maybe you don't. You don't like your life. Okay, fine. If that's where you're at, totally fine. That's totally normal. You deserve empathy. You want to be the person who's like, I love my life now and it's worth living every moment to the fullest. If you want that, yes. If you don't have that, okay. You deserve empathy. You want to love yourself, but you don't. Honestly, you don't. No one seems to fully love you, like fully love you. No one, right? So why would you love yourself? You're so sick of being you. You're so sick of it. Wouldn't it be so much easier to just be someone else, right? Like just pick someone off the street and let me just be someone else. Okay. You deserve empathy. If that's how you feel, yeah, that's okay. You deserve empathy. You will move into a space where you appreciate and love yourself more. You will. If you're not there right now, great. Totally great. Just be there. And you deserve empathy for being right where you are. Maybe you want to do therapy for chronic pain healing, but you're like, that's not going to help me. I'm beyond help. The therapist won't get me. I will say, I think that all the time. Every single therapist I have ever had, the fear the therapist won't get me, yeah, every time that fear is present. That's obviously my pattern that I've learned to fear that through, like, all of the misattunement and misunderstanding that I have experienced in my life. I've learned to fear that, and I'm like, "I shouldn't fear that still," but sometimes I still do. I deserve empathy for that, okay? And so do you. Okay. Maybe you wouldn't go to therapy for TMS and chronic pain or chronic symptoms because you fear being vulnerable with someone else. Okay. You've had bad experiences in the past. Maybe you've had bad therapy experiences in the past, and you just know you're different. You just know you're more broken. You know mind-body tools work for some people, but you know mind-body tools won't fully work for you. You know therapy works for some people, but you know therapy won't fully work for you. You are, like, there's something really wrong with you. You can't do therapy because then your therapist will just see there's something really wrong with you, and therapy will just fail. And I could say you're wrong, and I know I would be right. I know I would be right, because if you know that you're more deeply broken than everyone, that knowing is not a true knowing. That knowing is a false belief. I know you're wrong. I know you're wrong. So I could say you're wrong, and I am saying you're wrong. And like I said, I know I'm right. But today we're not going to dwell on the you're wrong, because I'm just going to say you deserve empathy. If you think that you're broken, that you're unfixable and unhelpable and unknowable, like ungettable, if you think that about yourself, okay, you deserve empathy. You want to feel motivated to fucking like go out there and live, even if you still have symptoms and triggers, because you know that's the best way to move forward. You know that's doing the psychological work that is teaching your brain and your nervous system that it's safe. Your body is safe and sensations in your body are safe. You're doing the graded exposure, getting yourself into life. You want to do that, but honestly, you don't want to do that. It's so hard. You don't want to feel the back pain, the neck pain, the shoulder pain, the hip pain, the headaches, the bloating, the gas, diarrhea, constipation, skin flares, pelvic pain, sciatica, neuropathy, fatigue, exhaustion. You don't want to trigger any of that. Of course you don't. I know. And I know that's the wrong answer. We all know that. We all know that there's a way to move forward, and it's not that. But that's where you are right now, and this process is slow. And you deserve empathy. Right where you are, you're on the road, you're on the path, you're on the journey, you're doing it. Even if you feel like you're failing and you feel like you're doing it wrong, you're not. If you're listening to this, you're not doing it wrong. You're doing it right. And wherever you're at on that journey, you deserve empathy. You want to set boundaries, but you can't. I know. You deserve empathy. You want to seem perfect still, even though you know perfectionism isn't good, and you still don't want to be vulnerable and you want to be perfect. I know. Again, you deserve empathy. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's good to challenge yourself. Yes, you know that. I know that. As you're recovering from chronic pain and symptoms, like, yes, it's going to be challenging. You're going to have to challenge yourself. And let's always balance that challenge with empathy. Okay? So that's my message for today. And you can play this back to yourself as often as you need to hear it, because this is so important and I don't want you to forget it. What am I going to say? Well, finish my line for me. Say it to yourself. You deserve empathy. Okay. I'll talk to you soon. If you're looking for a therapist, you found one. And you can decide. Does my vibe resonate with you? Therapy is an opportunity. Therapy is an opportunity to tune into you, to learn to feel more comfortable being yourself, to feel more comfortable with your emotions, and to feel more comfortable existing in the world in your body. Do you have difficulties in your life? Maybe it's chronic pain, maybe it's something else. Maybe you want to become a person who likes yourself. Do you want a therapist to help you? And would you like me to get to know you and to help you? That is actually an option. You can find me at SeanHershey.com or MindbodyMedicineForChronicPain.com. Both go to the same place, and if you're looking for me, I'd welcome a message from you. SeanHershey.com, MindbodyMedicineForChronicPain.com, and you can request a free consultation.